I'm going to talk to Mary Kay. Mary Kay, talk to us about what is exciting about this moment and the possibilities it holds through for Catholics of conscience. What is the potential that you see now that may not have existed before? And what, if anything, does it have to do with ordaining women?
Well, I think it has a lot to do with ordaining women. Barb mentioned the word inclusivity, and that means the opposite. Some people are excluded. Of course, it's women from official ordination, but there's also the homosexual people are somewhat excluded, and so are divorced people.
Right.
So, in a way,
and anybody who supports a woman's right to choose in certain dioceses.
That's right.
Diocese, right? Yeah.
That's another one.
Yeah.
So that we would see that we would like our church to make progress on all of these issues. And in the meantime, the call to all of us, I think, is to be community, to be with the excluded.
Very good.
Quote, excluded, in a quote.
Right.
We don't see them as excluded.
Yeah. Again, the concept of the church just growing smaller and smaller into the distance as those who are excluded are all of us out here.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting because people talk about being marginalized, and I was interviewed a couple months ago about being marginalized by a woman who was doing a thesis on that. And I said to her, I said, I don't know why you're doing an interview with me because I don't feel that I'm marginalized.
Right.
I feel that I've stayed center pretty much, maybe a little left of center because I'm an active
activist.
in social justice. I said, but I feel that the church has gone farther and farther afield to the right. I haven't moved.
Yeah, I don't see the church. I see you guys. I see my brother-in-law. I see Call to Action. I see my sister, who has, taught in Catholic schools her whole life rather than make the oodles of bucks and have all the fun that public school teachers have just because she's committed. And so I do not see the church except I see you all. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the experience a lot of people have right now.
And that's why we are gathering on March 2nd. And that's why we are bringing Roy Bourgeois into the city of Chicago, Call to Action, Women's Ordination Conference, and many women priests are active in this 22-city tour.
Wow.
He is coming in to talk about his understanding of following his conscience and what that means when it comes to women's leadership. It will be on March 2nd at Irving Park Baptist Church, and that's at 4401 West Irving Park in Chicago, and at 7 p.m. And all are welcome. We think we'll have a very nice and exciting discussion about that. And Roy will tell us where he's coming from.
Yeah, Roy's a great guy. I've heard him talk before, back in the day, prior to all of the School of America's actions that he's been doing now for 20 years. 20 years mm-hmm. over down in Georgia. Yes. And we have talked about that on this show as well. But Roy is a Maryknoll. That's where I got the Maryknoll thing in my head this mm-hmm. morning. Mm-hmm. So he will be the keynote of this gathering on Tuesday night. Is there anything else happening in that to inform people about the Women's Ordination Project or the School of America's?
Well, Roy will be speaking about women's leadership within the church, mm-hmm. and there will be others on the dais, and they will be speaking their conscience and talking about how they are living lives of conscience. I will be one of them.
And he is a Nobel Peace Prize nominee. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. So, Father Roy Bourgeois, who's a Maryknoll priest, a Vietnam veteran, recipient of the Purple Heart, and founder of the School of the Americas Watch, is talking A Life Lived from Conscience this Tuesday For more information, people want to go to
wisdomandwordworks.com, and that's the website. And if you go to Wisdom and Wordworks, you'll get information on where exactly, and parking facilities, and all that,
all that other
information.
Stuff.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
There's a donation involved in this, which we can't go into details about, but wisdomandwordworks.com. Yes. That's Wordworks. Something that Elmer Fudd would have a hard time saying. Wisdomandwoodworks.com.
Well, that's gathering. Sorry. That is a gathering of Sophia's spirit, which is wisdom, and good. Word, which is logos, the male, the female, and the male. Wisdom and word works. Okay.
Hey. All right. There you go.
Thank you.
Now, you guys over at Day Center, who have a radio show on WLUW, I don't know right now the schedule, but are also going to be marking, unfortunately, the anniversary of the start of the war in March.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Tell us about that.
That's
March 18th, I remember.
With a very large coalition of groups from the city.
Right.
March 18th at 5:30, a rally at the Federal Plaza, some speeches, and then going up Michigan Avenue, calling for the end to war, funding people's needs, not corporate greed, end the wars and occupation now.
Very good. And unfortunately, we are observing this week, I think, a new and terrible milepost or whatever, and that is 1,000 deaths in Afghanistan, U.S. personnel. Of course, we don't have a number on how many Afghani deaths have been caused, but we think prayerfully of those folks over there, and that their mission would change soon to keeping peace rather than making war. Thanks a lot, you two ladies, sisters, for your life work and for your current work. And anything else where do people go if they want to find out about your outfit, Mary?
It's www.8thdaycenter.org.
Okay. And I'd ask you the same question, Barbara, who I won't call father, but who is an ordained woman priest. I'm thrilled.
Well, you can go to my website, which I already spelled out, wisdomandwordworks.com, or you can go to Roman Catholic Women Priests.org and get more information.
And womensordination.org is also one, it looks like.
The Women's Ordination Conference supports us, and the Women's Ordination Conference has been in effect for well over 20 years, and they do support women's leadership and women's ordination.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot for spending time here with us this morning. I so appreciate it, and really am in awe of your work. So, shine on.
Thank you.
And let's hear it for Barbara and Mary Kay. Thank you for your visit and for your work.